Hey guys, it's Turok, and I'm doing a follow-up video to parts of what I did yesterday. I was talking about the big topic I got onto, a theory of mine. I created in in recording yesterday's video, talking about a possible connection between Xebec and Eam, and I went over a couple of ways I first thought about this. And they were, the first I did was that Xebec may have been a Gorosei member at one time, and he defected and formed a pirate crew to take over the world. Because it's specifically said by, I think it's Sengoku, right, that he wanted to be king of the world. And so I talked about Xebec knowing knowledge about Eam and what Eam is, what he can do, and he wanted to. Xebec wanted to defect and just like take over the world in a way that was different than Eam Sama. Because Eam, I theorized in other parts of the video, and I built up to this, that Eam is merely likes the control he has over the world by ruling from in the shadows. He has the Gorosei as the front and center peak of the world government that everyone knows about, and he hides in the shadows, actually controlling stuff. He is a and he's probably gonna do this. He's probably gonna do this cleansing thing. I was thinking too, to just wipe out pirates and just make the world happy and safe while he really controls the strings. And that Xebec didn't like that idea, and wanted to rule with more of an anarchy and take over things openly and through force, that with pirates. And much like what Kaido's doing now. It's funny, yeah, so Kaido and Blackbeard, I realized, both to some degree liked his idea, and each tried to enact that plan in of themselves. And it would be ironic if I am correct in some way that if Xebec was not part of a pirate, wasn't born like that, a pirate and as a rapscallion. So if he was born in some high-born family and rose into a Gorosei position, it'd be funny that two pirates who were both not, who probably, we don't know much about Blackbeard actually, who were born in less luxurious circumstances, followed the plans of a guy who was highborn. But and then my second thought that I'm really leaning into now, I thought up toward after I first recorded the video, thought toward the end, and I recorded it onto the other part of the video, is that Xebec may actually be a oh crap. Oh, freeze up like video on there. Okay, I had to take a phone call. So my second thought, theory, I'm leaning into more now, is that perhaps Eam Sama and Xebec were related in some capacity. Father-son was the one I'm using. I'm going to just stick with that way, and we could figure out more later if I'm correct, and then Oda corrects any of this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking Xebec, in the same vein of what I just said before, the other way, if as a relation to Eam, was like tired of the way his father, I'm going to use that as the hypothesis, was tired of the way his father was ruling the world and wanted to be more open about it, wanted to like just take over the world in a less hidden way, not hiding behind the shadows. And I talked about too how maybe he went to God Valley to do something that would find something that would help him usurp Eam Sama and expose him, actually, was the main thing I said. And in that vein, I realized, I made that thumbnail for the video that I was talking about connection. I put that a screenshot I got of the what we think is Uranus when Beijing Capone found I saw it 2 years ago, and between Eam and Xebec. I forgot to think about that. What was Xebec if he knew about Im-sama's power and Im-sama's weapon. What was he planning on doing that would be able to stop Uranus? Would he, because he went to God Valley and that's where he was stopped, or what we're told. So was he going there to find something else that would help him stop Uranus, to counter it, to disable it, destroy it? Could that have been where it was sitting at one time and he was going to go there? So now I'm wondering if he didn't, how was I going to put this earlier? If he was going there to find something else that could help him and he just failed to get there. Actually, also what I just thought a little bit ago when I was rereading Sengoku's tale about what happened, I wonder if Garp and Roger could not actually stop Xebec at God Valley, not completely, and the reason it got destroyed is, well, everyone's still, we're all theorizing now, I saw like Tegan theorizing it and such, that the God Valley was destroyed by Uranus, and I agree with that concept, that happening. But now I'm wondering if it happened right at the end of the battle, or while it was happening. If Im-sama was really worried about how this battle might go, or either way, or didn't want Garp or Roger or anyone else he knew was there to find what was there, and so he had it destroyed during the battle. And like, because Garp is a very powerful guy, he's extraordinary. He's great armor and hockey, and he's a brawler. He's just like he's more like Zoro or Sanji are people I think associate closely with being similar to him, as they don't have devil fruits. None of them have devil fruits, but they're very potent foes on the world stage. But I just don't see, with the number of great pirates Xebec had as a on his side, unless there were more vice admirals and that there, like Kainu or Kizaru and such, that did help take out or slow down like Whitebeard and Big Mom and such. I'm thinking that the Uranus was destroying the island right at that point and just stopped the battle, and that's what destroyed Xebec, perhaps. I'm wondering too then if Xebec didn't know about the weapon. On the other hand, maybe he just didn't know about that weapon. He thought Im-sama merely was had the power of the Marines on his side, and all their, they got thousands of troops. They got probably dozens or hundreds of battleships. They have whatever admirals and vice admirals like Sengoku, Garp, maybe Kizaru, Kainu, etc. on their side, and he thought just by having the likes of the great pirates he recruited on his side would be enough, and then he would find something at God's Valley, and he just didn't know Uranus was out there. I'm a little skeptical of that one, but it could be too. So the last thing too I'm thinking now, I was just noticing something else that kind of leans into what I was thinking about. Actually, a couple things here. One, why did they bother putting the throne there and letting other people, those other nobles who see it in this one chapter? I think this was 906 or 907, was it? And that, yeah, in chapter, I think this is 9, let me go back and find it. In 907, this other king, who is that now? Is that someone from, we probably know him. He sees the empty throne at Pangaea and he wants to sit on it. He wants to be there. King Stelly. Okay, this guy's name is King Stelly. Hold on a sec. Let's find out who that guy is. I'm going to Google this quickly. Maybe maybe I won't. King Stelly is... Oh, he is from the Goa Kingdom. Okay, he was down by Sabo's family. He's there in chapter 907, looking at the empty throne, and I'm just wondering why show anyone, even a nobleman such as him, who's probably part of the Reverie Council, because there's only like 50 of them. There's a I was reminded when I was watching videos about this how the not all the kings and queens and such can go to reverie, only the most powerful ones. So this guy must be one if he's there. Why let them see the castle's even there? The throne is there. It just seems like such an obvious little, I don't get this, why there's a thing there. The world nobles are supposed to be in charge along with the Gorosei. This seems a little suspicious to me. I'm just wondering if I wonder if that's why King Cobra wanted to talk with the Gorosei. He's wondering what's going on, and he had something, maybe this is all connected together with what happened with King Cobra, because he's gone now. He's supposed to be dead, and Sabo got blamed for it. I wonder if Ian had him, or the Gorosei had him off because he was bringing up something else besides what happened with them abolishing the warlords, which is probably something they don't care about because now they got whatever Vegapunk's producing. So one other thing that's bothering me too is that I was rewatching when we see Im-sama have an audience with the 5 elders, and where was it? The next chapter, I think. Yeah, 908. We see him walking away from. He's in this flower room he's got, and he has pictures torn up by his saber. We see there's looks like a rapier, I would guess. One of those French saber things that was sharp and pointy. Like they're not like they're not like a katana or your average European style sword. I noticed there he had Luffy and Blackbeard, but even more important to me, based on what I was talking recently, was that he has Princess Shirahoshi there, and now I am thinking that I was correct yesterday in that he's planning that he wants to get her soon. He will try to acquire her soon, I think, to have her and Pluton under his control in order to begin this cleansing of the world, this cleaning up stuff that that they're planning on here. And it's interesting, they talk about what names should be stricken, and we don't know. I'm wondering too what that meant by the name. Only a name should be stricken. I'm thinking, does that mean they're planning on having? They're waiting for Eames' opinion, I guess, on what islands, at least probably more than one, should be destroyed. Am I right on Shirahoshi? Let me see that too, quickly. Shirahoshi. Yeah, that's her. So, it's funny that she did not get kidnapped there because she was right there too. But Vivi was. That's interesting. Why would Vivi be kidnapped? Why would he need her now of all places if he is involved in that? But he didn't get Shirahoshi when she was right there. And that's what they're showing, right? Shirahoshi? Yeah. That's definitely Shirahoshi's picture. He's got stabbed through the eye. And he got Vivi instead. Ooh, what if that was like an accident? That could be bad. What if someone accidentally killed Vivi, kidnapped Vivi, and they meant to get Shirahoshi? Like she interfered in the kidnapping there instead. And yeah, they got all these guys here. So that was the main stuff I had to talk about. Why? So one, I wanted to think about why did Xebec know about Uranus? How did he plan to counter it? If he knew about it, why didn't he go to Wano or someplace? Why didn't he try to track down what was at God Valley that would be the best thing he could have to try to stop Im-sama, or even if he didn't know about Im-sama, that he would think that could save him or help him take out the Marines and rule the world. That's the other thing. I knew I forgot. The thrones there. If Xebec knew about that throne, that makes sense now that when it was talked about he wants to be king of the world. He knows that throne is there. He wanted to have that throne and take it. So I'm just thinking, if he knew about the throne, he'd probably be thinking the same thing that other King Stelly is, and he's like, hey, I can have this. I just gotta go and do this thing that will stop the whole world, stop Eam from having control over the world by knocking out something at God Valley. And yeah, I guess that's it right now. I'm still wondering too, what's that Raftel, of course, like why is Raftel so well protected? Is that something the D-Clan did? Is that what their last ditch effort to protect something from Eam Sama's clutches? Or is it something similar? Is that thing in God Valley both of equal importance? We'll figure it out later. So I'm going to end this video a bit here. Oh gosh. Okay, I did think of a couple other things I was just looking at. I know I came up again. I forgot. First, back to what I just said about Xebec. I was trying to check if there was any similarities with Xebec and Eam Sama's eyes. But the only thing we ever got with Xebec's eyes, it shows him in this panel in the chapter with his reveal, where he has these really slanted evil eyes, and he's got this big grin, open mouth kind of grin going on. So that was nothing there that could help me right now. And trying to figure out if him and Eam Sama would have any of the relations that I've been speculating. And so that doesn't help me. And secondly, I was on a smaller tangent. I was wondering if the world government will bother. What happens when a world government with bounties, because they talked in this chapter, I was reading through it, of how Big Mom and Kaido's bounties would surely go up since they were forming an alliance. But now that a few weeks this was probably a few weeks before they got defeated. Would the bounties just be in limbo or just left alone until they find out where they are? Also, will we even see them soon? I've been waiting for several. It's been like 10 chapters since we saw them, right? Probably a little more. And where are they now? And when are we going to see them again? And I was really wondering if they're going to just pop up back in Wano or something. And yeah, and on another topic like that too, I'm waiting still with the next chapters to I'm wondering when we'll find out what happened with some of the other warlords, the former warlords, especially Edward Weevil. We never found anything about what happened to him and his mom back then. I'm waiting to see if they'll show up. Because they just, I think every other warlord has shown up, we found out what happened to them since they showed the dissolution of the warlords, which was just over, that's 100, that was 104 chapters ago now. We found out about that, and we've seen what happened to Mihawk, we've seen Buggy, they're together now with Crocodile. We got, Boa was attacked by, Blackbeard, and she's alive and well with her island destroyed though with Rayleigh and what's her name? That's gonna come back to me in a second. And but we don't know anything about what happened to Weevil. And that was it, right? Also on the thing of Shakky. I was looking, so Shakky, I'm trying to make sure I got this right. Shakky must have been, I'm trying to figure out, because I was watching, what was that, Grand Line review, and he was talking about, trying to figure out the generations. But if I recall correctly, Boa's mother died. She was the last empress before Boa, and it says 2 generations back, Shakky was the empress. So I'm trying to just make sure I get that right. Is Shakky then her grandmother? She doesn't look like she'd be that old. Is Shakky her aunt or like her grand aunt or something? I'm trying to just make sure I get that. I'm trying to think about that lineage with them. And then we got her granny, don't know her name. Let's see. No. Anyways. So I'm trying to just get that relation down. I'm wondering, I'm hoping we'll figure that out soon. But I have a feeling some of these questions I'm asking are not going to be answered right now. I'm thinking Oda will be like, I spent enough time on this, and we'll try to advance the plot more now, especially since it ended off on the cliffhanger of sort of Bonny being found in that eddy. And yeah, it's like, how does she get out there, by the way, too? Because last time we just saw her was in the chapter where she was at Reverie there, and she was in disguise, and she's there. She was pissed off seeing how Kuma was being mistreated. So they were really far. They were nowhere near Marijois. They were somewhere off in the New World past Wano now, and she's way over there. I mean, it's easy for her to get that far, probably. This reverie happened probably a few weeks ago from when the Strawhats were in Wano. So she could be there. She could have got out there easily, but like, did she got out there with her crew? We haven't seen her crew in so long either. She got captured, right? She got captured by Blackbeard 2 years ago. I don't think we've seen hide or hair of her crew in that time. So are they defeated and she's just been running around on her own, stowing away on ships probably to get around? And if so, how did she end up there? I hope we find out more. I'm sure we'll be finding more out about that. But I was reviewing that to see how far back she was from. How long ago that was we saw her? Oh, that's right. And Vivi's bodyguard was there. What's his name with the falcon fruit? I hope he's okay, because he was there too for security. Yeah, just a lot going on here. Anyways, I think I'll end this video and try and put these up right now. Is this working? Yeah. This is a quick addendum at the end of this video. I'm going to put at the end of the main video I'm working on. I realized two things I made a mistake on. Yeah. So I was just saying a moment ago when I was looking at this scene with Im-sama looking at pictures of Blackbeard, Luffy, and Shirahoshi. Interesting combination, 3. I was thinking about if Shirahoshi had maybe been the intended kidnapped person that we would have been instead of Vivi, I can't think of her name. I keep slipping on these names. But I forgot that in the panel, a little bit later in that panel, or in the anime here too, I was already watching it, Im-sama is looking at a picture of Vivi as well. When he walks away from the other ones, he had Blackbeard and Luffy's all torn up as well, and Vivi's is right above theirs, and he's got the saber stabbed right through hers. So he seems rather pissed, I would say, too, about Blackbeard and Luffy's presence in the world, which is very interesting because they're both causing a lot of chaos in their own way. Luffy's is unintentional and Blackbeard's is very much intentional. Another yin-yang with them that we all know about. But I was thinking a moment ago that, I said in the previous part of this video that maybe Vivi got in the way of the kidnapping of Shirahoshi. But this image being me reviewing this part where Vivi has a photograph of her probably that Im-sama is looking at tells me that no, she is intended to be kidnapped. But I am not thinking about. I am still sure that Shirahoshi will probably be taken away at some point if the theory about him collecting the other ancient weapons stands. So we'll see on that. So the question there too is, what does he want with Vivi? The Gorosei talk about her father wanting to have an audience with them, and they're worried about him knowing something, and they talk about him being a betrayer because he left and continued to rule the nation he came from in the world below, they call it. Actually, that brings up something very interesting as well. What other nations, I wondered, what were like the other 19 powerful nations that were ruled by, oh no, we actually got one other. 18 nations that were ruled by the Celestial Dragons. The second one being the Dressrosa, because that's where Doflamingo's family ruled over. So we had we know of Alabasta and Dressrosa as two nations that were ruled by Celestial Dragons years ago. Off the top of my head, I probably would go with like another one being like Water 7, it's such an important nation that is very big in having shipwrights being there and crafting all kinds of stuff. Like, it harkens back to Venice, obviously, in its period of time in the Middle Ages where it was producing lots of ships for, well, two things. One, Venice made a lot of ships, I think, for the people who were traveling to the Levant, to the Israel area for the Crusades, and then they were traveling there to, as Venice became a big ship trader, trading with Turkey, the Ottomans, in the later on in the 14 and 1500s and maybe beyond. So I would think that would be another big one. Water 7. I don't know what other big nations did they visit. They didn't really visit many others in the New World, did they? In the old one, they went to Thriller Bark, which is not that's Mora's ship. They went to Little Garden, which was almost no one goes there. We don't know. I was gonna say Elbaf, but Elbaf is like one of those other big nations. There's something too. Well, would Im-sama want to go after Elbaf? Would his weapon work on Elbaf? Because Elbaf is this powerful nation. Big Mom said as much, right? Wow, I'm getting off. This is why I like recording these like this. Elbaf is this nation full of giants, the home of the giants. And Big Mom wanted to get an alliance with them, and she stated that no one could have stopped her if she would have got Lola, or was that her sister, to her twin, to marry Loki, the prince. I wonder if Im-sama wants to have them in an alliance. Like them and Elbaf and Wano just seem like to be these very important countries that are not part of it. Would Elbaf be next on his list to smite from the world to make it safer so that giants weren't there anymore? The world government clearly has not treated other races well beyond humans. The fishmen have been treated poorly for a long time and still are. I'm just rereading this one chapter, and you had that bastard, one of those celestial dragons, trying to have his big, what's that, slave giant or something else, trying to take Shirahoshi as his prize, as a slave, because they're obsessed with mermaids as a luxury item, bastards. So I wonder how the world government feels about giants being their own isolated nation as well, and whether or not they would want them as a alliance, having some kind of alliance with them. Anyways, next I gotta circle back what it was. Go back. So yeah, I was asking whether or not going back 2 steps. I was wondering whether brain. Yeah, what other nations would be the celestial dragons would have ruled over? And we really don't. I can't think of any big nations that there might have been some in there. I know plenty of other nations have been mentioned. The smaller ones, like the one Kaido came from, wouldn't be one. They were struggling, and they sold Kaido off as a kid in order to be part of Reverie. And there's Drum Island. There was another one, but they seem pretty small. Anyways. Back to Vivi, yeah. So Vivi's been kidnapped, it seems, purposely probably by the orders of Im-sama, I would say we can insinuate. And I was wrong when I said earlier that she would probably be, that she got in the way of Shirahoshi being kidnapped. So the question again arises, why is Vivi being kidnapped? What is so important about her that Im-sama wants? So I can't answer that one. But, yeah. And then the other thing what I missed was, what did I just say? Let me see, let's mute this. Yeah, the throne, that was it. I was wrong, I was reading through comment sections and videos, so the throne, I was wondering why the empty throne is there. And the point other people are saying is that it's supposed to be empty to signify the balance of power, balance in the world. But it still seems really dumb to me to have a throne. Because if you have one, someone wants to sit on it. Someone wants to sit there and say, yeah, I rule all you peons, you plebs. You listen to me. Look at that Stella from the Goa Kingdom. He wants to get on it right away. He wants that power. So I stand by my thoughts there that the throne being available to be seen even by the most powerful kings and queens of the world, even though they're subservient to the world government, seems a little dangerous. And again, also makes me think about Xebec. If he knew about it one way or the other, he'd be like, I want that power too. I want to take it from Im or the Gorosei, whatever he knew, either way. So, oh, one more thing I was just going to say earlier, I was asking what we'll see next. I really hope we get to see something on Doflamingo and what's happening with him. What's going to happen with him in very soon, because it seemed like he was in danger of assassins coming to wipe him out in the thing. So, is that it? I feel like I'll have something else as soon as I end the video. So, yeah, the girls say go to see him. That was very interesting. Oh, I was wondering too if maybe when Im-sama was there with the Gorosei or at Reverie, maybe that's where this King Cobra was. He told King the Gorosei that you have to get rid of King Cobra. He's a problem now, because he might know stuff. How much? Yeah, what kind of stuff would someone like Cobra know about the world government? Like, we were worried. Crocodile. Oh, that's another thing too. So Crocodile knew that something was in Pluton was in Alabasta, and he knew King Cobra might know something, and he concocted a plan that took years to allow him to get close to Cobra. So what else could Cobra know that they would want to get rid of? That the Gorosei and Im would want to get rid of him. Well, like probably not as much as like Doflamingo again would know, because Doflamingo has been around for a while, and he's not been around. He's essentially been defected from or casted out from the Gorosei ever since he was a little kid when his dad left. Anytime they don't want to live there in Region anymore, as they say here, oh, they're traitors now, they're betrayers. But they had to deal with Doflamingo, the Gorosei, because he's recently cast off, and he knows a lot of stuff, and he may have connections to help him learn more. Like, I was wondering how much he knew about the Empty Throne and and that stuff. And I just thought of something else too. But one other thing, Crocodile first. Crocodile is how did Crocodile find out about Pluton? This seems like a really closely regarded secret among the few people in the world know this kind of stuff. So where did Crocodile go to? What connections did he have? Like, maybe Doflamingo told him, because Doflamingo knows so much shit, and Crocodile and him would probably do business together for their own mutual ends, and Doflamingo for money. Maybe he wants to help Crocodile if they pay him enough, and they can cause almost chaos. So where did Crocodile end up that he learned about Pluton? And that led him to Elbaf of all places, when now we got confirmed 800 chapters later that the one that was built in Water 7 is actually in Wano, waiting to be awakened or whatnot. And I just had another thought about the throne, because I was thinking, where did I just think of that from? Actually, what I was just thinking about was that, what if Im is not really like the king of the world? So much so is that he is supposed to be a regent, that perhaps he's just ruling it in that place, and he was supposed to be ruling that place in the stead of whoever would be the king, but he's just taken over it. He's just like, I want this power for myself now. And he's controlling that and keeping it for himself. And what if that's related with like the King of the Pirates theory? What if the King of the Pirates probably started out with it seemed like Roger, when he went to the end of the Grand Line. That's another thing. Who found out that Roger? How did they know that Roger went all the way for the end of the Grand Line? What if that could have been misinformation for all anyone knew? And Roger just went there, and he says he went to the end. He would tell people about it, maybe, like if he went to Honeycomb Island. Oh yeah, could he even dock at Honeycomb Island? He would be the enemy of Wang Ji if he was there. that oh god, I keep going on and on. Wang Ji supposedly controlled this island up until recently when Blackbeard took over it. Would Roger or Whitebeard be welcome there to go do some business, let their men off to have some fun while they're taking a break from sailing around? But back to Roger, who would tell Roger that? Who would Roger tell, and how would that get to Morgan and be confirmed that he found the last island in the New World, or made it to the end? And now he's the king of the pirates. And who proclaimed him that? Was it like someone like Morgan or a predecessor? Okay, now I'm back off topic here. So back to Imsama. What if Imsama would be what if the king of the world thing is something that, oh God, I forgot how I was thinking that before. I should have brought that up before I went on to the crocodile thing. But I was thinking about Im being like a regent and defeating whoever actually did, well, yeah, either way, if someone defeats Im, say Blackbeard makes it there, or if Xebec was trying to do it like I thought earlier, what if they conquer him and they don't want, and then Blackbeard probably wants that so he can be king of the world, and he probably knows about Xebec's plans enough that that is his goal, and he's doing it through his means of collecting devil fruit powers, which is actually interesting too. So I was saying earlier that. Xebec had collected the finest, most powerful pirates he could 40 years ago to create an anti-force that defeat the Marines and take over the world. Did he? I think some people have already, surely speculated that whether or not he would have had the darkness fruit to negate their powers. Oh, that still makes, I was just thinking for a second, did he have a power, would that be part of what made him have a power to, or Blackbeard that is, to have the ability to take a second fruit? We still don't know anything about that. So I was thinking for a second, what if Xebec had that power but he didn't use it that way? He wanted to let the others have that power so that they can help him as like a shield, like a personal bodyguard of the best pirates to protect him from the Marines while he went on his conquests. So we don't know that. So anyways, king of the world, who's going to become king of the world? This is all about the king of the pirates in the beginning, but now it's becoming like who's going to control the world and the direction of it. Like I was thinking for a while, like even if Luffy became king of the pirates, like what would that do? It would change the direction of how piracy might be seen a little bit. He could probably have some sway, though again I don't like that either, because a king implies you're ruling a certain region, a landmass, a group of islands. I think the king of the pirates thing seems a little, it's being taken too literal in some ways, that there'll be the ruler over pirates. But pirates don't ever listen to each other anyways. Look how badly these alliances have gone. They don't want to work together, really. Kaido and Big Mom wants to go off and they're probably waiting to backstab each other as soon as they found the One Piece, if they could have. So that stuff always just bothered me. Oh, they're the king of the pirates. They're the best. Like, this is not quite a king of the hill contest where there are rules involved. Everyone just kind of like wants to find whatever Roger is, and it's like again, Roger was proclaimed that by other people, it seems, unless there's more there that we don't know about. Like, did Roger say, "Oh yeah, I'm the king because I found this thing," and now no one knows about it because the elders? What if the elders did hide something about what Roger said? He found something. He leaked a little more of it. But anyways, this story began with him being the king of the wanting to be the king of the pirates. But now it's like this is probably going to involve Imsama, and whoever wins could take that throne and tell the other kingdoms of the world, you listen to me now. That would be quite a turn. That would be quite an interesting turn of events, and I'm certain that's probably what they're planning on happening to some degree. So, anyways, So how did I get on this? Oh, because Vivi got kidnapped, and now I'm really wondering what happened and why she got kidnapped, because I assumed Shirahoshi was the intended target, and I still think she'll get kidnapped later. But because they need her power, but there's something else too. Shirahoshi has his power, but it's not like a devil fruit. It's something innate. endowed to her through her bloodline, right? Is that a power that someone like Whitebeard could steal? He only seems to steal devil fruit powers, correct? But what if he could steal something else like that? Or what if someone else could have a way to do that? That would be very dangerous indeed if they could get Shirahoshi. What if Vegapunk could find a way to replicate it, actually, too? That the power could be taken from her, put into something else or someone else that can then control it better, and they can use the Sea Kings at their will and not have to like coerce her and threaten her, Shirahoshi, to do it. Because the only other way too would be like trying to make her have kids with someone and hoping they'll raise the kid to be their tool. So there's all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, I'm getting off topic. Shirahoshi has an innate ability to work with, to be like the king of the seas. Oh, wait a minute. That makes her realistically like the leader of the seas, right? She controls the most powerful animals that probably ever lived on the earth. Like, we were talking about the Lunarians being these impressive beings that are revered as gods, but there's also the Sea Kings that are like the biggest creatures we've ever seen, and she can control them. That would make her like literally the queen of the seas. She can control the seas. So there you have a king down below, and you have the king ruling the world government, and now we're gonna have a king of the world king of the the pirates. There's just gonna be all kinds of unique symbolic monarchs in this story, aren't there? Oof! Holy shit! Every time I do this, I start thinking of a new tangent. I'm gonna end this here. No?